As Mr. Okoro turned to leave, he saw Lily coming out of the hut and a thought came to him immediately. He turned back to Ben and said to him, "Take my daughter Lily. She is useless to me, take her and go." "She is your payment." Ben froze. "What?" he asked. Mr. Okoro's face became hard. "She eats my food. She does nothing good. Take her. She is your payment." In the small village of Olo, there stood a mud house with a broken roof and cracked walls. People passed it every day, but no one wanted to stop there. Sadness lived inside that house. That house was where Lily lived. Lily was only 22 years old, but her eyes looked old and tired. They had seen too much pain. Her back bent from too much work, and her hands were rough like an old woman's hands. Every morning, before the sun woke up, Lily was already awake. She would rise quietly from the cold floor where she slept. The mat under her was torn and thin. She washed her face with little water and tied her faded wrapper around her body. Then the work began. She would sweep the floor, fetch water from the far well, wash dirty plates, cook food she would most times not eat. If she stopped to rest, shouting would come, "Lily!" Mr. Okoro's loud voice would shake the house. "Don't be lazy. Move faster." Mr. Okoro was her father, but he did not act like one. His eyes were always red. His breath smelled of strong drink. When he came home, fear came with him. After Lily's mother passed away, Mr. Okoro changed. He stopped smiling. He started drinking every day. Soon, he brought a new wife into the house. Her name was Madame Kemi. Madame Kemi did not like Lily. She would point her finger and say, "Girl, clean this place. Girl, cook faster. Girl, you eat too much." But Lily did not eat too much. Many nights, she went to sleep with an empty stomach. She would hear Mr. Okoro and Madame Kemi laughing in their room while her own belly cried in pain. Sometimes, Lily remembered her mother. Her mother used to sing to her at night. She used to stroke Lily's hair and say, "My child, your life will be sweet one day." Lily held on to those words like a small light in a dark room. One hot afternoon, Lily was cooking over the fire. Smoke filled her eyes, and tears rolled down her face. She coughed and wiped her eyes with the back of her hand. Then, Madame Kemi walked in. "Why are you crying?" she asked with a cold smile. "Is the fire hurting you?" Lily shook her head. "No, Ma." Madame Kemi leaned close. "Good. Because crying will not save you in this house." That evening, Mr. Okoro came home drunk. He threw his bag on the floor and kicked over a pot. "Where is my food?" he shouted. Lily rushed to him and placed a small bowl in front of him. It was the only food left. Mr. Okoro looked inside the bowl and laughed. "Is that all?" he asked. Then his face became dark. "You are useless, Lily. You eat my food and give me nothing." He raised his hand. Lily closed her eyes. She did not scream. She was used to it. The slap came hard. She fell to the ground. Madame Kemi stood and watched. She said nothing. Later that night, Lily lay on the floor, her cheek burning. Her stomach was empty, but her heart hurt more. She stared at the roof, watching the moonlight pass through the broken roof. She whispered softly, so no one would hear, "Mother. Where are you?" The night was quiet. No answer came, but somewhere in the darkness, fate was listening, and Lily's life was about to change in a way she could never imagine. Some days later, the sun rose slowly over the village of Olo. Its light fell on the wide farm behind Mr. Okoro's house. The land was big, dry, and hard. Tall grass grew everywhere, sharp and rough like needles. This was Mr. Okoro's farm. Very early that morning, a young man walked onto the land. His name was Ben. Ben's clothes were old and weak. His shirt had many tears. His trousers were patched at the knees. His slippers were thin, and dust covered his feet. But Ben did not complain. He knew what he came for. He held his cutlass tight and looked at the farm. "I will work," he said softly to himself. Mr. Okoro stood at the edge of the farm, chewing a toothstick. His eyes were mean. "You," Mr. Okoro said, pointing at Ben. Can you work hard? Yes, sir, Ben replied. This farm is not for lazy people, Mr. Okoro warned. You will cut grass. You will carry loads. You will do the ridges and do the planting. Ben nodded. I can do it. Mr. Okoro laughed. It's okay. I will pay you after you have finished the job. This job will take you about 2 months to finish it. Ben bowed his head. Thank you, sir. And so the work began. Every morning, before the birds woke up, Ben was already on the farm. He cut grass under the hot sun. Sweat ran down his face like rain. His hands formed blisters, then wounds. Still, he worked. When the sun burned too much, Ben did not stop. When his back ached, he did not rest. When his stomach growled, he drank water and kept working. Some days, Lily watched him from afar. She came to the farm to bring Mr. Okoro food. She carried the bowl with her head down. She saw Ben bending and lifting heavy sacks. She saw his shirt stick to his skin with sweat. Once, Ben noticed her. He smiled at her. Lily was surprised. No one smiled at her in that house. She quickly looked away and walked back home. At night, Ben slept on the bare floor of a small shed near the farm. Mosquitoes bit him. Cold wind touched his skin. Still, he slept quietly. Days turned into weeks, as the rain fell. Ben worked, the sun burned. Ben worked, even as storms came. Ben worked, Mr. Okoro watched him every day. He never said thank you. He never gave Ben good food. Sometimes, he gave him only dry gari and water. This is enough, Mr. Okoro would say. If you don't like it, go and get food by yourself. But Ben stayed. After 1 month and 2 weeks, Ben had finished the job and did everything that he agreed with Mr. Okoro. Mr. Okoro was happy. He counted his money and smiled to himself. That evening, Ben washed his face and walked into the house. His heart beat fast. He needed his money. Sir, Ben said politely. I have finished the work. Please pay me. I want to leave now. Mr. Okoro looked at him and smiled. It was not a nice smile, my friend, Mr. Okoro said. I have had some bad luck with my business. I don't have your money now. I will pay you when I get the money. Ben was confused. Sir, you promised that my money will be ready once I finish the job. Mr. Okoro stood up. His eyes were cold. He said to Ben, have patience with me, young man. I will pay you. As Mr. Okoro turned to leave, he saw Lily coming out of the hut and a thought came to him immediately. He turned back to Ben and said to him, take my daughter Lily. She is useless to me, take her and go. She is your payment. Ben froze. What? He asked. Mr. Okoro's face became hard. She eats my food. She does nothing good. Take her. She is your payment. Inside the house, Lily heard her name. Her heart jumped. She stepped forward slowly. Papa. Mr. Okoro pushed her toward Ben. Take her. He shouted. I don't want her anymore. Lily's hands shook. Her eyes filled with tears. Papa, please, she cried. I will work harder. Please don't send me away. Mr. Okoro raised his hand again. Leave before I change my mind. I am doing you a favor. Madam Kemi stood behind him. She smiled. Ben looked at Lily. She was thin. She looked scared. Her face showed pain. Ben's heart hurt. I will take her, Ben said quietly. Mr. Okoro laughed with joy. Good. Now both of you should get off. Lily looked back at the house one last time. It had only given her pain. She stepped beside Ben. As they walked away, Lily did not know where she was going. She did not know who Ben truly was, but far away, something big was already moving. The road out of Olo village was long and dusty. Lily walked beside Ben with slow steps. The sun was high, and her heart was heavy. She did not look back at the village. She was afraid that if she did, she would start to cry again. A big bus waited at the roadside. It was old and noisy. Smoke came out of its back. People pushed and shouted as they climbed inside. Ben held Lily's hand. His hand was warm and strong. "Stay close," he said softly. Lily nodded. She had never left her village before. Everything felt strange. Her feet shook as she climbed into the bus. The bus moved with a loud sound. The village slowly disappeared behind them. Lily's heart beat fast. Where are we going? She wondered, will he be kind to me? Will my life be worse than before? She sat very still, holding her small bag. Inside it was only one dress and a pair of slippers. That was all she owned in the world. As the bus moved, the road changed. Trees passed by. Rivers flashed like silver. Houses became fewer. Lily watched the world move and felt small inside. Her stomach made a soft sound. Ben heard it. He pleaded with the driver to make a little stop so that he would buy something. The driver stopped the car and he bought a meat pie and gave it to Lily. It smelled warm and sweet. He also bought a cold drink and gave it to her. "Eat," he said gently. Lily stared at the food. No one had given her food like this before. Her eyes filled with tears. "For me?" she asked. "Yes," Ben said. "For you." She ate slowly. Each bite felt like a dream. The cold drink washed the dust from her throat. For the first time in a long while, her stomach felt full. Lily looked at Ben. "Thank you." Ben smiled, but said nothing. The bus shook as it drove on. Night slowly came. The sky turned dark blue. Stars appeared like tiny lights. Some people slept. Some talked. Lily could not sleep. She watched Ben from the corner of her eye. He sat quietly, looking out the window. He did not touch her. He did not shout. He did not look angry. Her fear slowly changed into something else. Hope. Hours later, bright lights appeared in the distance. They shone like many stars on the ground. "What is that?" Lily whispered. "The city," Ben replied. The bus entered the city. Cars moved fast. Tall buildings stood like giants. Noise filled the air. Lily's mouth opened in surprise. She had never seen anything like this. The bus finally stopped. Ben stood up. "We are here." Lily's legs felt weak as she stepped down. The city smelled different. It sounded alive. She did not know what waited for her next, but one thing was clear. Her old life was far behind her, and her new life was just beginning. Ben and Lily walked down a long, clean street in the city. The road was smooth like glass. Big houses stood on both sides, tall and proud. Some had gates made of iron. Some had lights that shone like gold. Lily held Ben's sleeve tightly. "Do people like us live here?" she asked in a small voice. Ben smiled a little. "Just wait." At the end of the street stood a very big house. It was painted deep blue and white. The walls were high. The gate was wide and strong. It looked like a palace from a storybook. Lily stopped walking. Her heart began to race. "This place is too big," she whispered. "We should not be here." Ben did not answer. He pushed the gate open and walked inside. Lily followed, her feet shaking. Inside the gate was a wide yard with green grass and tall trees. The big blue house stood in front of them, shining under the sun, but Ben did not walk toward the big house. He turned and walked to the back. Lily was confused. She followed him past flowers and stone paths until they reached a small house behind the mansion. It was simple. It was clean. It had white walls and a small door. "This is where I live," Ben said. Lily stared at it. "Here?" "Yes," Ben replied. "I will be working as the gardener for the occupants of the big house. They gave me here to stay." He opened the door. Inside, the house was neat and warm. There was one bed, a small table, and a chair. Everything was simple, but nothing was broken. Lily felt her chest tighten. This was the nicest place she had ever seen. Ben placed her small bag on the floor. "You can sleep on the bed," he said. "I will sleep on the floor." Lily shook her head quickly. "No, sir. I cannot take your bed." Ben smiled kindly. "You are tired. You need rest." She did not argue again. That night, Lily lay on the bed, staring at the ceiling. The room was quiet. No shouting. No fear. No angry footsteps. She listened, but she heard nothing. Her eyes filled with tears. Ben lay on the floor beside the bed. He did not turn toward her. He did not touch her. Are you afraid? He asked softly. A little. Lily said. I will not hurt you, Ben said. You are safe here. Those words wrapped around Lily's heart like a soft blanket. She slowly closed her eyes. Outside, the big blue mansion stood silent and proud. Its windows glowed faintly in the night. Lily thought about her life. What is her life going to be like from now on? She asked herself. She did have the answer, but she was sure it's going to be better than the life she led in the village. As sleep finally came, one thought stayed in her mind. Sometimes, the smallest houses hold the greatest kindness. Morning came softly. Sunlight slipped through the small window of the little house. It touched Lily's face like a gentle hand. She opened her eyes slowly. For a moment, she was afraid, then she listened. There was no shouting, no angry voice, no sound of plates being thrown, only birds singing. Lily sat up quickly. Her heart was beating fast. She looked around the room. The small house was still there. The clean walls. The quiet air. She was safe. She stepped down from the bed and stretched her tired body. Her bones did not ache like before. She felt light, as if a heavy stone had been lifted from her chest. Ben was already awake. He was outside, sweeping the small yard. Good morning, he said with a smile. Lily bowed her head. Good morning. She did not know what to do next. Back in her father's house, orders came like rain. Here, there were no orders. You can rest today. Ben said. You don't have to work. Lily froze. Rest? She asked. I can rest. Ben nodded. Yes. Her heart jumped. She had never rested before, but Lily did not sit down. She went into the small kitchen. She wanted to do something kind. She found rice and vegetables. She cooked slowly and carefully. The smell of the food filled the air. Ben noticed. You did not have to cook, he said. I wanted to, Lily replied. Thank you for being good to me. They ate together, sitting quietly. No one rushed her. No one took food from her plate. Lily ate until she was full. That day turned into many days. Each morning, Lily woke to peace. She swept because she wanted to, not because she was forced. She cooked with a happy heart. She laughed sometimes, then stopped, surprised by the sound of her own laughter. Ben never shouted. He never raised his hand. When he spoke, his voice was calm. One afternoon, Lily washed clothes in the yard. The sun was warm. Water splashed around her feet. For the first time, she began to hum a song her mother used to sing. Suddenly, a shadow fell across the yard. Lily looked up. A tall woman stood there. She wore fine clothes. Her hair was neat. Her eyes were gentle. Good afternoon, the woman said. I am Mrs. Rose. Lily stood quickly. Her hands shook. Good afternoon, Ma. Mrs. Rose smiled. I live in the big blue house. I have smelled your cooking for days. It smells wonderful. Lily's heart raced. I am sorry, Ma, she said. I did not mean to disturb you. Mrs. Rose laughed softly. You did not disturb me. You made me hungry. She looked around the small house. Who are you? My name is Lily, she said. I live here with Ben the gardener. Mrs. Rose nodded slowly. Her eyes studied Lily's thin arms and quiet face. You may come and cook for me sometimes, Mrs. Rose said. If you like. Lily did not know what to say. Yes, Ma, she whispered. When Mrs. Rose left, Lily's heart beat fast. A door had opened. That night, Lily lay on the bed again. The moonlight touched her face. For the first time in her life, she did not cry from pain. but deep inside her heart, a small fear still lived. Could this peace last forever, or was it just a short dream before another storm? Lily closed her eyes, holding on to the quiet. Whatever came next, she had tasted peace, and she would never forget it. The big kitchen inside the blue mansion was quiet and bright. Sunlight poured through tall windows and danced on the clean floor. Pots shined like mirrors. The air smelled of spices and warm food. Lily stood by the stove, stirring slowly. Her hands were steady, but her heart was not. Cooking in the big house felt strange. Everything was large. Everything was fine. It felt like a world she was not meant to touch. Mrs. Rose sat at the table, watching her. "You cook with care," Mrs. Rose said kindly. "Food made with love always tastes better." Lily smiled shyly. "Thank you, Ma." When the food was ready, Mrs. Rose tasted it. Her eyes lit up. "This is wonderful," she said. "You have a gift." Lily felt warmth in her chest. No one had ever praised her like this before. Just then, footsteps echoed across the floor. Someone else had entered the kitchen. Lily turned. A young man stood near the door. He wore fine clothes. His shoes shined. A gold watch rested on his wrist. His hair was neat, and his smile was confident. Mrs. Rose smiled. "Leo, come and greet our guest." Leo walked closer. His eyes rested on Lily for a long moment. "Hello," he said. "I am Leo."